Good evening. Welcome to Discursive. Corruption isn't some anomaly, it's a fundamental law of human nature. Institutions don't fall to corruption, they are built from it, like termites hollowing out the foundations from day one. No, it's the system itself. A well-oiled machine designed to keep the powerful in power, the rich richer, and the rest of the world too distracted to do anything about it. Take Pertamina, Indonesia's state-owned hydro. It doesn't pump oil, it pumps influence. The vines run deep into every corridor of power. These aren't businessmen, they are architects of a reality where everything is for sale. It isn't just a company, it's a fortress built on crude oil and reinforced with decades of impunity. And every fortress needs its ruling class, like Ibnu Sutowo, the founding father of Pertamina, who ran it like his own personal fiefdom. Fast forward to today, and we have Pertamina Patraniaga embroiled in yet another scandal, this time over the systematic manipulation of fuel distribution, embezzlement, and the deep entrenchment of corporate political collusion. The more things change, the more they stay the same. It has its feudal lords, those who guard their positions with tooth and claw, ensuring their wealth flows unchecked. And of course, its jesters, idealists, who believe they can reform a system that was never designed to be reformed. The story of Pertamina is the story of Indonesia's resource curse. Back in the 1970s, oil money flowed like a river, and at the helm was Ibnu Sutowo, Soeharto's right-hand man in the energy sector. Under his control, Pertamina was just an oil company. It was a shadow state, financial beast funding military projects, political patronage, and Suharto's web of cronies. By the time its debts ballooned to 10 billion US dollars in 1975, it was clear Pertamina had become too big to fail. The lesson: the more corrupt an institution is, the more indispensable it becomes. And when Ibnu Sutowo fell, the system didn't collapse, it adapted. The oligarchs survived, the networks rebranded, and looting continued under different names. I would have you believe that neoliberalism doesn't eradicate corruption, it establishes it. And they're not wrong. You dress up systemic looting as privatization, rebrand the regulation as market efficiency, and suddenly the Great Heist is framed as economic reform. Take the 2001 oil and gas law. Under the guise of liberalizing it or liberalizing the market, it sliced Pertamina's monopoly, opening the floodgates for foreign investors and private sector interest. But who really benefited? Certainly not ordinary Indonesians, who still face rising fuel prices while subsidies are siphoned into the pockets of well-connected elites. Mark Fisher might call this capitalist realism, the idea that people are so conditioned to systemic failure that they no longer imagine alternatives. When the public discovers their fuel is being diluted, they don't storm the offices of the perpetrators. They don't demand justice. No, they simply say, "What did you expect?" That's the true triumph of the system, not just robbing the people, but making them accept it as an unchangeable fact of life. So, where does the money go? Follow the contracts and you'll see the same names appear over and over and over again. The Riza Khalids of the world, the hidden hands in oil pricing, the untouchables who dictate terms from behind the scenes. And here, the petrol scandal unfolds, a case that lays bare the modus operandi of systemic corruption. So, What's the lesson in all of this? The machine endures, the cogs shift, the faces change, but the engine of corruption, it keeps running. The oligarchs will keep their wealth, the system will keep its order, and the people, they'll receive another round of hollow promises while the cycle continues uninterrupted. Unless, of course, you realize there was never a machine to begin with, just a maze of mirrors reflecting power back at itself, daring you to find an exit that was never there in the first place. Good night and good luck.